the unexpected power of love. It's sold to us as a feeling, a fairy tale, a poetic escape. But history reveals something far more thrilling. Love has been one of the most powerful drivers of ambition, wealth, legacy, and sometimes destruction. The truth is, who you love and how you love can shape your destiny more than almost any other decision you'll make. It can elevate your empire or quietly sabotage it. And if you're building a wealthy life, choosing a partner isn't just romantic, it's strategic. These 10 real love stories aren't just tales of affection. They're master classes in influence, vision, and consequence. And by the end, you'll start seeing love not just as chemistry, but as capital. 1. Cleopatra and Julius Caesar. Love as leverage. When Cleopatra met Julius Caesar, she didn't seduce a man. She secured an empire. Egypt was politically unstable, Rome was the global superpower, and Cleopatra knew that alliance through affection could give her the leverage she needed. She orchestrated her first meeting by being smuggled into his chambers rolled in a rug, a move both bold and brilliant. Their partnership preserved her reign and eventually led her to Mark Antony, another Roman general. But love, when mixed with pride and politics, turned fatal. Their tragic end reminds us, passion can be powerful, but when strategy fails, even empires fall. How far would you go to secure your future? 2. Napoleon and Josephine. The cost of sentiment. Napoleon Bonaparte adored Josephine with reckless abandon. While he built his empire across Europe, his letters to her read like the diary of a man intoxicated with love. But Josephine wasn't as loyal. Her affairs broke his heart, but not his mission. Eventually, he divorced her because she couldn't bear him an heir, though he called her his true love till the end. It's a story of ambition colliding with sentiment. If you want to build legacy-level wealth, sometimes emotion must yield to intention. Still, can you imagine breaking up with someone while still sending them roses for years? 3. John and Abigail Adams. Love rooted in respect. Not all love stories are tragedies. John and Abigail Adams had a bond built on mutual respect, intellect, and vision. During America's birth, John was constantly away, but their letters are legendary. They talked about politics, parenting, prosperity. Abigail was no trophy wife. She was a co-founder in spirit. Their marriage reminds us, wealth isn't built alone. A relationship with shared values can multiply your purpose. So next time you're texting, why hide? Maybe upgrade that to, what are your goals this quarter? 4. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. Legacy over lust. Victoria and Albert were cousins, yes, but they also built one of the most iconic love stories of the 19th century. Albert wasn't just her husband. He was her advisor, strategist, and creative partner. He helped transform British industry, education, and even royal fashion. When he died young, she mourned him for 40 years. Their love was one of discipline, vision, and mutual contribution. It shows us that legacy isn't built on lust. It's built on alignment. Are you building a future with someone or just burning time? 5. Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. Love in chaos. Frida and Diego's love was messy, defiant, and undeniably magnetic. Their relationship was full of affairs, political drama, and betrayal, but also inspiration. Together, they painted a life of expression, pain, and impact. Frida once said, "I suffered 2 great accidents in my life. One was the trolley, and the other was Diego. Sometimes the right person can teach you everything, except how to be stable. Emotional returns aren't always financial ones, but they can make you immortal. Ever been so in love you started writing poetry at 2 a.m.? Yeah, Frida lived that energy. 6. Barack and Michelle Obama. Partnership with purpose. The modern blueprint for power couples. Michelle mentored Barack when he was still an intern and stood by him through law school, politics, and the presidency. Their story isn't about perfection. It's about purpose. They built a family, a brand, and a legacy on values, vision, and service. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, find someone who challenges you, sharpens you, and scales your mission. Are you dating someone who drains your battery or charges it? 7. King Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson. Love over a throne. Edward gave up the British crown for the woman he loved. Wallis Simpson, a twice-divorced American, wasn't considered royal material. The choice? Rule an empire or marry the woman? He abdicated the throne. Romantic? Absolutely. But it cost him everything. Love can be powerful, but if not paired with long-term thinking, it can be expensive. The lesson? Emotion can change your path, but clarity keeps you on course. What would you give up for love? And would it still feel worth it 5 years later? 8. Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. Obsession in loops. They married twice, fought endlessly, gifted diamonds worth millions. Their love was toxic, intense, but captivating. Financially, their relationship was extravagant. They spent fortunes, and Elizabeth's jewelry collection became legendary. This story teaches a hard truth. Being rich doesn't protect you from emotional chaos. In fact, it may amplify it. Wealth requires discipline, especially in love. If you had a partner who bought you a 69-carat diamond, would you forgive a few bad decisions? 9. Warren Buffett and Astrid Minks. Quiet strength. Warren Buffett is known for his financial wisdom, but his love life is unconventional. He remained legally married to Susan, who supported his career but lived separately, while Astrid Minks, his longtime companion, quietly shared his life for decades before they married after Susan's death. There was no drama, just understanding, loyalty, and trust. Sometimes real wealth lies in relationships that don't look perfect on the outside, but create peace and alignment on the inside. It's not about flashy romance. It's about compound loyalty. 10. Marie and Pierre Curie, The Power of Shared Passion. 2 Nobel Prize winners, 1 laboratory. A love built on curiosity, discovery, and resilience. Marie and Pierre Curie weren't rich, but their work changed the world. They faced poverty, scientific opposition, and personal loss, but stayed focused. After Pierre's death, Marie carried their work forward, making breakthroughs in radioactivity. If you find someone who's obsessed with purpose like you are, you won't just grow, you'll multiply. What if your next partner wasn't just cute, but curious? Would that change your standards? So here's the truth. Love is either your greatest asset or your quietest liability. Choose someone who compounds your character, multiplies your mindset, and aligns with your mission. Because wealth isn't just built in spreadsheets, it's built in relationships. Want to learn how this idea of compounding works not just in love, but in money? Click on my next video, The Power of Compounding, and see how time, discipline, and smart choices can turn small actions into massive wealth. Your legacy starts now. Choose wisely.